gents, welcome to a brand new video. Today we got something special. Of course, everybody's one and only favorite game on the channel, Valorant Mobile, and I'm excited to bring you some more news. But I was wondering what's with the background. Currently visiting my family, so I'm just in my hometown at the minute. Secondly, I'm pretty sick, so I'm gonna try and get through this video as quick as I can. But anyway, guys, if you want more Valorant Mobile videos, drop a like. One like equals Sonho feels better soon because he's still sick. With that being said, genuinely do drop a like if you want Valorant Mobile videos, so I know you're watching. Okay, so off the rip, guys, this is some major news, to be honest, in my opinion. I feel like it's nothing crazy, but for those like very competitive players or people that just like to go very specific into details on playing games, you know, getting that perfect sensitivity, being that aim god, etc., they officially have an aim labs in Valorant Mobile. And I know that obviously a lot of streamers, players out there use aim labs, like the actual platform itself, to practice their aim. And it's such a popular thing amongst like shooters like this because aiming is very important. Valorant was like, you know what? That's so cool. We're going to be the first game to implement that to mobile games practically. It's not a training ground. It is genuinely an aim training boot camp, you could say, where you can test your limits to see how good you are, how fast you are, etc.
Ladies and gents, I'm gonna stop you all the way there. That's right, because I need to tell you about today's sponsor, which is of course the one and only iconic, the Division Resurgence. I have been waiting such a long time to say these words, you have no idea. So with that, thank you so much Ubisoft for sponsoring today's video. Of course, you guys can check out this game, link down below, and play it anywhere on your iOS and Androids, or iPads and tablets. But before you go ahead and do that, let me tell you some key facts, of course. What is the Division Resurgence, you may ask? In easy Silent Hill classic words, I would personally summarize it as a open mode RPG experience. Of course, it's a shooter, so I know you guys are gonna love that. And this mobile game edition is of course the same experience as the iconic full version. Only difference is you can play it anywhere, anytime. The game is set in a apocalyptic environment all the way in New York City. And you know what? I love that. The vibes are kind of spooky. The experience brings you being an agent, and your objective is to fight and protect the civilization and rebuild a society. Because of course, unfortunately, you are in a devastating pandemic. It is a satisfying, smooth experience. There's story mode campaign and of course a co-op experience where you can play with friends and fight against enemies and real players. You gotta loot around to find the highest tier possible gear. You can customize your agent of course to make it look the way you want it to. And I think my favorite part and the best feature about this entire game, apart from it being a shooter looter type of game, it's not first person. Matter of fact, it's like somebody put a camera right behind your shoulder, giving you an amazing third party experience. Regardless, download this game, come and survive with me. Let's save New York City together and cure the world from this horrible pandemic, because we are the only hope. With that, back to the video.
Now, the second key point I want to dress up in today's video is another crucial gameplay feature that has been added. And maybe for some people this is nothing special again, but this is very important for those that love a smooth gaming experience, because if you can see in the screen, we have 165 FPS officially added on Valorant Mobile. I don't think you guys understand how insane this is. For example, COD Mobile runs on 120. I think PUBG Mobile maybe 144. Valorant Mobile said, you know what? We can do better, 165, which is the ultimate smooth experience. Now, on my screen, you guys will notice that this tweet right here is stating that third person is officially coming to Valorant Mobile. And a lot of people have messaged me, bro, is this real? Commented, oh my god, they destroyed Valorant Mobile. Did you see the latest news where they're adding third person, they're removing first person? And I was like, what are you on about, bruh? Like, don't hit me with these pranks, you know what I mean? And so obviously I go ahead on Twitter and stuff and check it all myself, see with my own eyes, and I do see these tweets everywhere, like this person. But then you look at the date and it's just April 1st. Guys, don't forget that there's April Fools still in 2026, man. Once a year, April 1st, people just make a bunch of troll tweets. Even the developers themselves did one, so let's go ahead and watch it and see what they said.
Looking at the data, and we decided to make some changes that we think will be overall better for the game.
I mean, it's a pretty cool video, but it's just a joke by the developers. There's no third person being added. It will strictly stay first person. And the cool thing to take away from this video is that they're actually running Valorant Mobile's song in the background of this, which is crazy. I don't know, maybe you guys didn't notice that detail, but that's the same song that you get when you first open up the app Valorant Mobile, and the same song that they've been promoting Valorant Mobile all across China. Okay, so for this next moment, I just want to go ahead and show you guys what competitive esports looks like, quote unquote, in Valorant Mobile. So allegedly, this is like a very good European team, that they're playing obviously in the Chinese servers against another really good esports team, you could say. And he's in a 1v3 situation, which I thought, you know what, if you guys are curious what players are looking like nowadays, here's a high quality video on how they compete. So we'll go ahead and see. I think the clan is called Absolute, or the team name. So yeah, this is a 1v3 situation. Here we have, he's running Omen character. Boom, one gets pushed, double headshot. Through the smoke he goes, and triple headshot. So yeah, I guess players like this exist. They're taking the game very serious, and it's good to see a bunch of global players suffering through obviously the high MS who keep practicing. Once the game comes on global, they have the advantage over everybody else, you know what I mean? Regardless, that was a W clip, of course. Next up, what I want to mention is global launch. Nice and simple. If you watched my last video, you got some information and you kind of get an idea in the head when the game is truly releasing. Now I'm gonna just repeat myself for those that didn't understand. I'm gonna try and simplify it because clearly it's just not good enough for me to just sit there for 20 minutes explaining it. So long story short, backstory of mobile gaming. Everybody knows India is the #1 country when it comes to game launches. India typically has obviously the biggest population in the world, so by standard they will be dominating all these games if it's obviously optimized for their devices. However, India has a little conflict with Tencent, which is currently obviously the developer for Valorant Mobile alongside Riot Games, and Tencent also runs other games like PUBG Mobile, Arena Breakout, Delta Force Mobile, and all those games, they are not available in India. However, Tencent and India have recently worked out a deal, and this is everywhere, you can just go Google it, and they are testing the waters to see if they can bring back Tencent games, you could say, like PUBG Mobile India, Delta Force Mobile to India, Arena Breakout to India. And my obviously philosophy or theory, you could say, is that once they do successfully do that, that is when Valorant Mobile will be launching. I think the reason why Valorant Mobile has been delayed is because they're just watching the space, how every game's getting shut down. Warzone Mobile is getting shut down, Apex Legends Mobile is getting shut down, Hyperfront's getting shut down. All these games are all getting shut down. We just had 2 new games announced this week that are getting shut down, which is T3 Arena and Farlight 84. They were not the biggest games, but they were still kind of cool games, you know, in the mobile franchise. And so Valorant doesn't want to be the next game to shut down. So what they're waiting for is the right time to go ahead and launch. And I think the perfect time is when India will officially be available, so they don't make the same mistakes, because everybody knows that Valorant will be that next big game. So that's what they're doing. Riot Games and Tencent are just going to be testing out the waters, and they're officially launching Arena Breakout in India soon, and then they're launching Delta Force Mobile in India, and the third game, in my opinion, which hasn't been announced but it's mysterious, it might be Valorant Mobile. That is my theory, and it aligns with everything. It makes sense. And another cool thing is that PUBG Mobile had its first Indian tournament in a very long time, in many years, like 2 to 3 years, guys. And guess what? On the first tournament, they peaked at over 600,000 live viewers. That shows you that there's still that audience waiting. They're waiting for the hopes and dreams that Tencent will one day return to India, and everybody will be able to play PUBG again, Arena Breakout, Delta Force Mobile, and of course Valorant Mobile. So that is when Valorant Mobile will be released, in my opinion. I have official sources with the developers, etc., but I'm not here to abuse it and give you guys the official information or something misleading. The honest truth is, no one knows when the Valorant Mobile game will be releasing. So from my perspective, I'm just going to be making these videos as an update. If there's something, any slight information, I'll let you know. If there's just like little bits, I'll let you know. A new feature dropped, a new update dropped, I'll let you know. But until we have some global launch update news, I don't think you should be trusting anyone. So with that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video. I'm gonna see you all next time, and let me know what you want me to do on my next Valorant Mobile video. Should I do some reactions? Should I play it on the Chinese servers, or do you want some more global launch updates? You tell me.